Ciao everyone, welcome to Beatspot. I'm Marco, and in this video I want to show you how to mix into a limiter because that helps with achieving a balance between the single elements that will actually translate in the mastering stage into what you wanted. So it makes more sense to mix into a limiter and then turn it off rather than not mixing into limiting and second guessing yourself whether the kick will be still that punchy or the snare will smack the same way I imagined, the vocal will be up front and all that sort of stuff. So I have this mixing session from a mixing contest. So these are all the stems. So let's listen to the chorus of the track.
Think and we scream.
Girls, tell me what's the plan for tonight? Trying to escape from my mind. I just wanna be here all the time.
Okay, so this is the track. Now let's listen to the mix unmixed.
Think and we scream.
So you can hear that the kick is completely lost and the background vocals aren't there. Then there's that sort of bass guitar, distorted and really wide, that it's way too loud for my taste. So first of all, I want to start with a healthy, safe volume for each channel. So all the tracks in this project are at 0 dB. I have the fader at 0 dB, so I want to lower them by at least 12 dB, so I have room to go both down and both up with the faders. So if I want a sound to be louder, I can raise the volume instead of taking all the other instruments down, which is quite a problem, especially because I have groups and subgroups, and managing levels this way, at least in Ableton, it's a problem for me. So if I want the kick louder, I want to set all the instruments at a level that I just can say, let's turn the kick up, and I'm done. So all these layers are playing together, so I will layer them into one group. And the same goes for these ones, so group tracks, and this one goes here. Okay, then we have the piano. So now I'm done with all the leveling, and we want to set the limiter. So we want to apply an amount of squash to the whole mix, so it hits a certain loudness target. So a safe value for pop might be -7 dB LUFS. This track, the original track, is actually louder. It's like -3.5, but I want to start with a safe target. So -7, it's quite good. And we can also do a double check later with -3.5 LUFS. So let's group everything together, and I have this ozone maximizer and then the insect too. So let's play the mix.
Think and we scream.
Okay, it's -26, so if we want to go at -7, we have to boost the whole thing by 19 dB, so something like this.
And we scream. Think and we scream.
Girls,
Okay, so we're quite there. And here there are two things to consider. You have to turn down your headphone volume or your monitor volume because you don't want to be blasted by all this loudness. Otherwise, you can just turn the ceiling down. So it's the same thing. Otherwise, you can lower the ceiling. So it's the same thing. Simply, you have the same squash, but the volume is lower. So let's just. So for this tutorial, I will leave the ceiling way up, and if it's too loud for you that you're watching the video, you can just lower the volume and still get how the audio reacts to the limiter. So now let's start this sort of live tutorial. I will make as little editing as possible from now on, so you can just see how I manage volumes in real time. So let's dive into it. So I want the kick to be louder. Okay, so now I want to control the relative level with the bass. So let's turn off the vocal for a sec. So maybe the organ? Yeah, it's too loud. So we have these two guitars. So one left, one right. So the comparison right now doesn't make quite sense because that track it's at minus 3.5 LUFS. So let's at least turn it down by minus 3.5. So we want more volume from the kick.
Trying to escape from my mind. I just wanna be here all the time.
So there's this melody that's too loud. For me. Okay, so let's group this one. So I want the na 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 to be louder. And they are these ones.
Na 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 na.
So let's span them, this left and this right. The whoa, so is like this one first.
Whoa. Girls, girls, tell me what's the plan for tonight. Tell me what's the plan for tonight. Tell me what's the plan for tonight. Trying to escape from my.
So I want this
Tell
part.
me what's the plan for tonight.
Tell me what's the plan for tonight to be loud, but we have the girls, that's too loud, and it's probably this one.
Girls, girls,
Yes.
girls, girls, tell me what's the plan for tonight. Girls, girls, tell me.
So as they are making a chorus, so multiple voices playing together, it makes sense to make them at the same volume. So -6, -6.
Girls, girls, tell me what's the plan for tonight.
Also sporadic elements like this hey, which happens one every like 30 seconds, I don't know. They aren't making the body of the track, you can push them quite loud. So these are sticking out even if they aren't louder in terms of fader, because they are layers. So if we look them in this section, so let's go for the hey group, which is this one. -21, it's okay. Just hear them that are going up, so it's good for me. This
Yeah.
I want it to be quieter. Okay, so this is an harmony. So I want this.
Whoa, yeah, yeah.
Okay, we can do something like this. So this is some internal leveling.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I want more focus on the na-na-na. So
Tell me what's the plan for tonight? Trying to escape from my mind. I just wanna be here all the time.
So the reference has these guitar that are really, really, really loud, a lot of crunch, distortion. So let's see if we can. Okay, so the cam phrased, it happens every 30 minutes. So I don't know for how long you've seen me like, but now let's go again. So let's continue this tutorial. The guitars are really crunch and I don't like it.
Tell me what's the plan for tonight? Trying to escape from my mind. I just wanna be here all the time.
So I'm not caring about the noises for the moment, so I'll just turn it on. So I just turn them off, so they aren't essential actually in this part. I will add them later, but I don't care.
Tell me what's the plan for tonight? Trying to escape. I just wanna be here all.
So we want more volume from the kick drum. So the problem here isn't the level itself, it's that it's too low in the clip. So let's keep it at +3.
Tell me what's the plan. Tell me what's the plan for tonight? Trying to escape from my mind. I just wanna be here.
Okay, now that's too loud, but I can go lower with the fader.
Tell me what's the plan for tonight? Trying to escape from my mind. I just wanna be here all the time. Just wanna be here all the rest of. Tell me what's the plan for tonight? Trying to escape.
So we were at +3, now we are at -7, but we made a boost of 14 dB, so we basically boosted the kick by 4 dB.
Tell me what's the plan for tonight? Escape from my mind. I just wanna be here all the time.
Now that the kick is louder, I also want the bass to be louder because they are in the same range and I want more fullness. So I'm working on relative levels. As the kick was lower, the relative volume of the bass was lower as well, but now that I have the kick louder, I want the bass louder as well, because I want all the low end to be quite gelled together.
Girls, tell me what's the plan for tonight? Trying to escape from my mind. I just wanna be here all.
Also because the kick is acting like the kickstart of the bass, so if the kick is loud and the bass is soft, it's kind of lost, so I just want both to be powerful.
Girls, tell me what's the plan for tonight? Trying to escape from my mind. I just wanna be here all the time.
So the good thing with this production and productions like this is the amount of layer, because you can just set the tone of the track just with faders. We have this wide dist thing, we have the sub, we have the stabs, we have the main, so I just can shape the sound of the bass with faders.
Just wanna be here all the west side, honey. Loose. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
So I'm really happy with this result, and it isn't even mixed or mastered. There's just a limiter. And now we want to do the same in other section, because there's breakdown, the intro, and so on. So let's do it quickly. We want to mix this synth. Okay, too loud. Okay, now this loop. So this loop was in the chorus as well.
What's the plan for tonight? Trying to escape.
So considering that there are these two loop layers and these two loop layers, we can layer these ones and layer these ones and volume them independently.
Girls, tell me what's the plan for tonight? Trying to escape from my mind. I just wanna be.
Okay, now let's come back to the breakdown.
Oh my, girl's only 17, they're free. Naive, that's what they'll say. Funny 'cause it feels right this way. Streetlights and headlights, feeling the breeze just on my head.
So I want this to be subtle, and let's go to the guitar clean. So let's level it with the
Souped up Tacoma, girl's only 17, they're free. Naive, that's what they'll say. Funny 'cause it feels right this way. Streetlights and headlights, lost track of time. Funny 'cause it feels right this way. And we think and we scream.
Okay, sounds nice. Let's go to
17, they're free. Naive, that's what they'll say.
so let's find the synth that's annoying me. No, probably this one. It's this one.
They'll say, funny 'cause it feels right this way. Streetlights and headlights, feeling the breeze just on my head.
Okay, so I forgot about the piano in the chorus.
Tell me what's the plan for tonight?
So I don't want it to be evident, but just very, very little noticeable. So it's good for now. And so there's another interesting part, which is this high picking. So you can hear that like so very, very subtle, because at least for me it's annoying. So, but it adds a layer of energy that's nice, but to me it should be something like subconscious. So these choir and these gospel. Okay, now let's listen to this chorus.
Tell me what's the plan for tonight. Trying to escape from my mind. I just wanna be here all the time.
So there's more power in the guitar. Let's see if we can just give
Here all the time.
So now let's listen to it again.
Girls, tell me what's the plan for tonight. Trying to escape from my mind. I just wanna be here all the time.
Okay, so I think that for having mixed it in like 10 minutes, I don't remember, maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes, it's quite a good result. So now let's do a double check with minus 3.5 LUFS. So let's add a second maximizer and let's boost it by 3.5 circa. So let's also help us with the insight.
Girls, tell me what's the plan for tonight. Trying to escape from my mind. I just wanna be here all the time. Girls, tell me what's the plan for tonight. Trying to escape from my mind. I just wanna be here all the time.
So with a little adjust to the kick, it sounds good at minus, sounds good at minus 3.5 dB LUFS as well. And consider that there isn't any EQing, any sidechain, any compression, anything. This is pure level settings. And so we can achieve some more definition with the crunch of the guitars, with the punch of the kick, with the width of the bass wide layer, and also with the separation between the lead vocal and background vocal. So a lot of stuff, but we are quite there.
Girls, tell me what's the plan for tonight? Trying to escape from my mind.
So to me, that's like the 60-70% of the whole work done just with volume faders. So that's it. That's basically it. So almost always you don't have the reference track. So you have to pick a reference track that is similar to the track you are mixing, or you just have to develop an ear to train your ear toward the standard of the genre you are mixing. So if you always mix hip hop, you might know that hip hop sounds good at -7. If you mix EDM, you might know that it sounds good at -4, -5, depending on how hard that style of EDM is, metal, pop, etc. So just find a target that works for you. That's it. Once you are done with all that stuff, you can just turn it off.
Girls, tell me what's the plan for tonight? Trying to escape.
And get an idea of how the mix is sounding without all that stuff. And if something isn't right, you can just fix it, or you can also try like mastering it if you master by yourself, or sending it to a mastering engineer and ask for feedback. And maybe they will tell you, hey, the kick is too loud, or the vocal is too loud, whatever. And you can just fix that. But this is a method to get all the volumes right, at least decent, in a very few minutes. The good thing about this trick is that you are mixing all the tracks while listening to them. So instead of the bottom-up faders, so you take all the faders down and you start turning them up, like the kick, the snare, the vocal, etc., which is a method that works and I love it, but only for tracks that have a low count of tracks. So they are like 15 tracks. It's okay. I just know that there's the kick, the snare, the vocal, the lead, and a few other elements. It's not a thing plenty of layers like this one. Also, I can see with the arrangement view, not in real time, what's there. So in the chorus, for example, I was missing the piano and this loop, some other stuff. So I just look at it and see, hey, I didn't level this thing. What is this? Instead, if we go like here,
Here all the time. Na, na, na.
I mean, we see what's playing, but maybe a single sound like the hey might happen once, and I just don't care about it. If it's really low in level, I don't even notice it, and I might forget it there. So that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any question, feel free to ask in the comment section below, and see you in the next one.